Oh boy! Here I go over analyzing Elisa fan game again. This time around though, instead of a single fight, I'm gonna be ranting about fight mechanics. I guess this is just the logical evolution to the last video. But, in order to do so, I'll first have to present you... Bernie. Bernie is an accountant. Well, used to be. I don't think crunching numbers is a useful ability in the world of Lisa anymore. He is also the main damage dealer of Lisa the Timeless. Pretty impressive for an accountant, I know. But his methods of inflicting pain are a bit unconventional, to say the least. Unlike most Lisa protagonists, Ben is not a retired old man who uses some type of made-up, yet somehow useful martial art to defend himself. He is a magician as well, and therefore uses magic, no shit Sherlock, in order to club at people around. And as such, this comes with a few implications along the way. First of all, there is no combo tile. For those 3 random individuals that haven't played any Lisa game yet, a combo tile is a simple key input in which your character performs attack / action for each different key pressed, and if a specific concatenation of actions you perform, a special ability can be used, effectively letting you attack 5 times or more in a single turn. And yes, it's broken as fuck. Although, the justification for it comes from the fact that the users tend to be martial artists. Thus, the ass-whooping capabilities can be translated into something else than extra stats. So, if there is an absence of combo dials, then how can we make Bernie's attack pattern interesting? But first, in order to explain myself, I'll first have to make you guys a question. Can you spot the difference between these two movesets? Huh? The very first thing that might come to mind is the huge difference in quantity of moves they both have. But why is that?
That's because your pencil is much longer than your timeline.
I mean, yeah, that's true. But a lot of Brad's moves are a bit redundant. Brad has got not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 different stun moves! And 4 more for the single purpose of magic damage. Whereas, all of Benny's moves accomplish different things. Yeah, they might do and cause similar stuff, but all of them are thought out in such a way that they fulfill a different role. And most importantly, they interact with one another! Let me show you real quick. Benny has weak defense since the beginning of the game. Not really remarkable by itself. He buffs all allies with magic defense and CC immunity. Benny also has Finger Beam too, which deals susceptible to good damage. But it makes him fall! Just like that. I wonder what would happen if Bernie did both. Oh shit. And what we just saw is good game design. Just by having a simple interaction between 2 existing moves can really spice up the attack pattern of Bernie, creating new strategies and cranking up the immersion while you're at it. These kind of chain move strategies are not new in either Lisa or RPGs in general. Take for example Alex Churchland's Code Geass combo. Ideally speaking, you first need to make sure the enemy will fall. For that, you start with a full thrust, which off-balances the enemy. Then you proceed to make him hit the ground with a flashy goat kick move, and finally you finish him off with an iron hoof, dealing crushing physical damage. In paper, this chain combo is well designed. It has a setup, an execution, and a consequence. But it is not really well balanced into the game. For instance, if your idea is to maximize damage per SP point, you are much better just spamming Flying Axe Kick. And if you want to delete someone before they can wreak havoc upon your team, just employ a minor iris. It costs like 70 SP and some health in Scholar of the Wilburson. A little note worth sharing. At the time of recording and editing of the original audio, I didn't do any math to corroborate those statements. But doing the math for Scholar of the Wilburson, the minor iris is just better at everything, as long as you can pay the exorbitant health price. This leaves the entire goat kick combo as the last reasonable option, as it's not that much of a good alternative given that it costs a whopping 110 SP, given you do the whole full thrust thingy. Speaking of resources, my homie Benny here is also a Chop TP character. That means that his resource bar always starts with the same amount, regardless of what. Unlike Alex and company, whose performance in previous battles heavily determines the chosen place on his current ones. Also, TP characters gain resource points through both receiving and dealing damage, incentivizing aggressive and direct playstyles. All of these rules combined makes it so strategy is especially important for TP characters, where knowing the limits of yourself, the enemies, and the mechanics is crucial for the deaths of those who dare to oppose you. What was I talking about again? Oh, yes. Another important thing of Bernie, at least in the early game, before the infamous combo I showed you, is the enabling required to get the best DPS out of him. Enabling, at least in RPG terms, is the requirement of an external character, item, or situation in order to perform certain actions. In this case, firing Bernie up. And there are only two ways you can achieve this. You either let him do it himself with flaming mittens, or Elton wastes a turn doing it so for Bernie. This forces an interesting hand against the player. Do you play greedy and hoard TP until you can pay the exorbitant price of flaming mittens and the subsequent fireballs? Or you waste a valuable Elton turn setting Bernie up? And there's no correct option here. It all depends on the battle state at the moment, adding more variability and spiciness to the already good combat mechanics of this infamous family. As you can see, Ben is not your usual Lisa damage dealer, but don't let that stop you from playing the game. I wholeheartedly believe this is one of the best fun games I've tried, despite how different it might be, and unlike most fun games out there, I genuinely have my hopes up for the next chapter. Torrington and the Russian Archive did a really good job with this one, especially Borsach. Birsach? I don't know how it's pronounced. His songs are different from the main Lisa feeling, and yet they vibe incredibly well with the game's atmosphere. I have no idea how to end the video, so here you have some explosions.